What's up? This is Jalen Johnson, cornerback of the Chicago Bears, and you're watching my boys, the Bears Mafia, on the Beardown Breakdown right here on Beardown 24/7.
It's the bear down breakdown. All up in your face now. Bear down breakdown. Shake the whole lake down. It's the bear down breakdown. All up in your face now. Bear down breakdown. Shake the whole lake down. It's the bear down breakdown. All up in your face now. Bear down breakdown. Shake the whole lake down. It's the bear down breakdown. All up in your face now. Bear down breakdown. Get down or lay down. We can talk modern era, we can talk throwback, but when we talk this real talk, chump, we don't hold back. These other guys love to lie, bruh, we don't promote that. Mo facts, mo stacks, Mr. Clean, no cap. Switch the whole game on them like a trick play. Competition going missing, no sick day. It's big bears bearing down in a big way, shaking the lake for the monsters of the midway. It's the bear down breakdown. All up in your face now. Bear down breakdown. Shake the whole lake down. It's the bear down breakdown. All up in your face now. Bear down breakdown. Shake the whole lake down. It's the bear down breakdown. All up in your face now. Bear down breakdown. Shake the whole lake down. It's the bear down breakdown. All up in your face now. Bear down breakdown. Sit down or lay down.
What is going on? Welcome to the Beardown Breakdown. We are back after a couple week hiatus. Sorry about that, but life happens. So we are on live tonight with Gil. We do have some feedback. Somebody's got some echo. It might be John. We are on live tonight with Gil.
Hey, what's going on, Chicago Bears Nation? What's going on, Bear Down?
We have Adam Wolf in the building.
What up, Bear Down?
There he is. John McNabb is here.
Muted.
I was going to let him roll. Like, John, you're not new. You know you got to unmute.
Listen, I can't hear shit really. Anyhow, Bear Down, I love y'all. We're in for a long end of the two season of the game, and next year's going to be, anyhow, go ahead.
All right, well, we'll get there. We'll get there. And Jason Mallardino is here.
Let's go. Pick number one's in our graphs, gentlemen. Let's go.
Hold that thought. We're going to talk about it. And I want everybody to know this is a special occasion tonight, because not only do you get to stare at us, but you get to stare at this guy right here, Stephen Williams, who's very, very rarely on the show. What up, Stephen?
Yeah, what up?
What's going on, fellas? How are y'all doing?
We are living the dream, sir. Living the dream.
Over and under. How many games has he watched this year?
We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna have that conversation with Steven. Real quick before we get started, shout out to our guy Willie Glow.
Willie.
Willie's always the first one in the comments. Like, Willie is sitting by his tablet or his phone waiting for this to go on so Willie can be on here. All right, Willie, we love you, bro. Let's go ahead and get started. Normally we would talk about the game, last week's game, yada yada yada. We ain't gonna do that tonight. Tonight we're gonna start a little bit different. We're gonna jump right into what everybody's excited about, or maybe you're not excited about it. I don't know. We have a very, very good chance getting the number one pick in the NFL draft, provided some things go our way and we do our job and lose out.
Let's go, Lovie Smith.
So here's my question: do we make the pick or do we trade back? And I'm not going to tell you where we're picking at, right? Right now we're 2. We could be 1. Do you make the pick or do you trade back? We'll start with Gil.
Oh, man. Tough, but if we're sitting at 2, and I always comment if Indy's there, they're close enough in that 4 or 5 range, I would trade down with them. So my choice would be trading down.
All right. So let's go to Adam. Adam, make the pick or trade it down?
I think the obvious answer here is, if you want what's good for the future of the Chicago Bears, you trade this pick 100%. First, second, all right, I'd even say third. Trade them all. Trade any one of those picks. get what you can for them, and still get decent value players in the middle of the first round. Easy.
All right. Before we keep moving on here, we got a comment. Eric Jansen says, make the pick. Eric, I would be curious what your pick would be and why you feel we should make that. If you want to throw it in the comments, I'll come back to you. Steven, make the pick or trade it back?
So for me, it's 100% traded down. There is, I always say this, even if it was, unless it was Lawrence Taylor that we were drafting, there's no player right now that makes us a playoff team single-handedly. So with that being said, trade down and get as many value picks is great. It's better to have 4 B-, B+ players than 1 A+ player. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good point. We got a lot of holes on this roster. John, make the pick or trade it down.
Oh man, you can't pick, man. We're not no one, like Steven said. No one person's gonna save us. And yeah, we could go get a 3 technique or an edge rusher or something like that, but we got what? 2 fucking wide receivers, 1 quarterback, a fucking 1 running back, a fucking. Yeah, we got to trade down. We need multiple people, man. Too many free agents, not enough money. I know people. Oh, we got the most money, but we gotta get bodies in there that can play football, man. So we got to trade down.
All right. Before I move on to Jason, Simon has joined the show. Simon is a Packer fan. I just want to tell you that your playoff hopes are about to be dashed this weekend. Anyway, moving on. Jason.
Man, this is a very complicated answer.
It really doesn't have to be, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, like I guess it depends what you get back. Yeah, trade down. Because you do need a lot of holes to fill. And my prediction is we will not trade draft day. We will trade before draft day. If we have the number 1 pick, we will make that trade before draft day.
Why is that?
Why? Because I feel it's going to be like the 49ers. I feel like a team who need a quarterback is going to try to get up that first day. Look what the Niners did. They made a huge trade before that. And if you look, a lot of trades kind of happen before draft day. So I just have a feeling that if we're there, even at 2, I feel like we make that trade. Now, 1's probably the best spot, obviously, but I'm just a prediction, a hunch. I think we make that trade before draft day.
Okay. So Eric did answer me on who he would pick and why he would make the pick, and his answer, long and short, was we have a ton of draft picks already, not to mention the $100 million we have to spend. Will Anderson at 2 gives us that potential franchise edge rusher. Interesting take, and here's what I'm going to say about that, and it kind of goes into my answer and all this. I like Will Anderson. I think Will Anderson is a great, great talent. My issue with Will Anderson is I don't know where he fits in this defense because he is not big enough to be a traditional defensive end, and I'm not sure he's going to be a linebacker in this 4-3. I don't know where I don't know where he fits. You know, he's tall, but he's kind of light. I think he's like 230. It's a tough spot to be in. I'd like to see him a little bit bigger. If we're going to make the pick, I'd probably go with Carter unless we could pick up Payne in free agency. But with all that said, I'm all about trading down. And Jason said it earlier in the week, last week. I wouldn't be against trading down twice if we can pull it off. Get some picks this year, get a future first rounder for next year, stockpile the picks. We got a lot of holes to fill on this team, a lot of holes, and it's not going to get done in one draft.
See, and to that point, who's to say we can't get them at 7? With so many quarterback needy teams that's out there right now, who's to say we can't trade back to 5 or 6 and still get it? You get what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I like Miles Murphy too. So in case we don't get Will Anderson, I think he's going to be available if we just trade down maybe to the 4th or 5th spot.
I will.
See me, I want 2 first-round picks. Like I want in 24, I want 2 first-round picks. But if we're moving from 1 to 4, you're not getting enough first-round pick. You see what I'm saying? You might get, you might get a 3rd or 4th.
We definitely have potential to get somebody's first-round pick next year, and that's what I'm hoping for. for sure.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you're moving from 1 to 4, you're not getting another first round pick. Now, to do that, you'll have to probably be out just probably 10 if you're doing that. You know,
I don't know. I kind of disagree with that because I think if somebody falls in love with one of these quarterbacks and we're at 1 or we're at 2 and they're still there, I think they're going to give up the house.
Yeah. So
really
here's
do.
the thing. So can I say something?
Okay.
This is going to be a little bit controversial, but I want to say something.
Hang on 1 second, Steven. Hang on. John, I know you're talking, but we can't hear a word
I'm
you're
not
saying,
saying you know exactly, but what kind of compensation are we in the ballpark of getting?
See, but that's what I'm saying. Depends where you're going from. If you're going from 1 to 4, you're going to get a decent haul, but you're not. In my opinion, you're not going to get another first round pick. That's just me. Now, if you're going from 1 to 10, you might have a better shot to getting another first round pick because you're moving up more spots. Definitely, if you're moving to the teens, you're definitely getting a first round pick because there's no way, like, say it's 14. And I know Mike said something that he doesn't really want to move out of the top 10. But if you're moving from 1 to 14, if you get out of that first 2 without a first round pick, Poles fucked up. I'm telling you that right now.
We're off the Carter bandwagon then.
I want Carter, but I love Carter. I kind of want him, but at the same token, it's like Steven said, it's quantity over quantity, I guess is what I'm trying to,
Well, and here's the thing. If we sign Payne in free agency, Carter all of a sudden doesn't become as important to us. Real quick, I want to get to Adam because I didn't hear what he said, and then I know Steven has something to say. So, Adam, what were you saying?
No, I just said we'll know a lot more about where teams are kind of headed in the direction they want to go when we get to like March, beginning of April.
Yeah, I agree to that. Steven, what did you have to say?
So I got something that's a tad bit controversial, but I need y'all to hear me out.
No way.
I think we're better, and I know this is going to sound dumb, but hear me out. I think we're better off at 2 than we are at 1. And I know that sounds stupid, but hear me out here, right? The Texans, right? No one knows if the Texans is going to go quarterback or not because we don't know if they love Davis Mills or not, right? If we get the number 1 draft pick, everybody in the NFL knows we're not drafting a quarterback. Therefore, they have nothing to worry about. If we're sitting at 2 with the possibility that the Texans may take the best quarterback, it makes our pick that 2 pick even more valuable. Because does that make sense though? Like,
yeah,
I see what you're saying, Steven, but also the counterpoint is if you're 1, then in theory, people are going to want to jump in front of the Texans or even, let's say, Seattle, because Seattle has Denver's pick. So you got to think about that too. So you're jumping over more teams to get to that first pick.
So let's look back at like, and I know they kind of screwed this up, right? But let's look back at like Justin Fields draft right here, right? Everybody knew Trevor was going 1. Now there is no guaranteed first round quarterback yet, right? But we know once off-season workouts and pro days and stuff, somebody's going to elevate themselves, right?
Yep.
And what's going to happen is if they start to pin, let's just say, I can't think of the guy named out of Kentucky. That's the quarterback. The number 1 pick, he's absolutely going to Houston, right? If you're the coach and you need a guy and you feel like the number 2 guy is good enough, now you give up the farm because you have to get him or you're waiting until next year. You get what I'm saying? Versus if we got 1 and Houston got 2 and you got both quarterbacks graded at the same grade. Okay, Bears draft or trade or do whatever they need to do, but we can guarantee we get him. We can get him in the 3rd pick. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's so many. I feel like that 2nd pick gets so much more. I think that's why, like, the 49ers gave up so much for Trey Lance. You get what you get what I'm saying? Because it's like we knew Trevor Lawrence was going. We knew that they made a mistake by telling everybody that the Jets was drafting Zach at 2. So it made that 3rd pick like we have to get that pick if we're going to get our quarterback.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I agree. Really, it's all going to depend on a couple different factors, right? Like you said, is Houston going to take a quarterback? We don't know that they're going to. Seattle, I don't see Seattle taking a quarterback.
I disagree with that.
I think Seattle may stick with Geno. I really do.
But the thing with Geno is he's kind of falling back to earth a little bit. He's 32. So how long are you going to stick with a 32-year-old quarterback that's, let's face it, it's been faithfully fucking average his whole career?
But hey, you can't steal Adam's catchphrase.
Well, whatever he has.
I'll allow it when it comes to Geno Smith.
Yeah, but
or Jack Sanborn.
But my point is, Mike, is if okay, let's say you're rolling with Geno. What you gotta have 2 or 3 years in that time frame? You can theoretically, what we say, sit the quarterback for a year.
I think if Seattle's within striking distance, they're taking a quarterback.
I think that too. I don't think they're holding 100% on Geno, and then now the Raiders are going to be interested.
Even if they do like Geno, you still have to draft a quarterback.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't know if they're going to be this high again. Yeah. So, and you know what? It comes down to what Steven said. A team has to absolutely love a quarterback. And honestly, I think 1 or 2, and that's why my theory of somebody might trade with us before draft, because like the Niners, they love a certain guy. They want to make sure they can at least get someone. Yeah. And I think it's like Steven said, and Combine, which is the most overhyped thing. I like watching it, but people put way too much stock in that. That's a whole nother story. But that, how it is, gentlemen. Once that shit comes out, somebody in the Combine shines, and all of a sudden the guy who's the fourth quarterback going into that thing comes out number 1 because in pads, shorts, he looks great. So.
What about jumping out of a pool?
Yeah.
Stop it. All right. Hey, we're gonna move on to the next topic. I do want to hit a couple comments though, and I threw them up already. Robert is glad we are back. He's missed the last couple of weeks. So did we. So you didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, though, Robert. We appreciate you. This one was interesting to me. There's Ruben Enrique Parker, because he said, "Hey, basement dwellers," and I think he's got a Packer logo, but he damn sure looks like he's wearing Bears jersey.
He's a Packer fan from my area. This guy, he's a good fan, but he's delusional.
Is he wearing Bears colors though in this picture?
He does wear Bears colors to work and to like public events.
Okay, so he's a low key Bears fan. I got you. Okay,
but he got the Packer tattoo, but he don't like to show it off.
Right, it's on his ass. Is that what you're saying? All right. Moving on.
He got it done in a kitchen.
Right.
Hey, leave me alone, man. Leave me alone. Now, play.
Stop judging me. This next topic, actually, I was hoping we were going to get Melvin on, because we've been fighting the shit out with Melvin all day, and I don't really understand his thinking, but we'll ask the panel here. Hopefully Melvin jumps in at some point in time. Should Justin Fields be playing these last handful of games? Is it worth the injury risk for him to play? So we'll go around the horn again. We'll start with Gil. Gil, what's your thoughts?
I do think that he needs to play. Every time that he's playing, he's gaining. I said it earlier. He's gaining experience. Growth, which to me is super important for him to play. Sitting him down will only stunt his growth. I know there's a potential for injury, but there's more potential for growth. So I'm rolling with keep him on.
Okay, John, Ruben had a message for you. It involved a middle finger and some laughy faces. So.
He's growing bald up top too, and it looks like the bear. You know how a little bit's missing and stuff. It looks like the bear face too.
It does it. If he cuts it right, he could probably get to see. And okay, whatever. All right, Adam, please speak to Melvin and tell him why he's wrong.
Justin Fields 100% needs to play these last 2 games. He's still a developing quarterback in a new system. There's no way you can sit him. If you're just going to sit him because you're scared he's going to get injured, you might as well just fucking forfeit. And he shouldn't have been out there all year long. If you're just worried about players getting injured, don't play football, period. Don't coach football. Don't do anything like that. But, yeah, if you're going to be scared of somebody getting injured, that's not a recipe for success, and all you're going to do is hinder his development and take away some of the confidence that he's gained over the course of the season. Aside from last week, you've seen how confident Justin Fields has been. Obviously, teams are figuring that out, putting spies on him every game, and we definitely saw it on Sunday. But no, put Justin Fields out there, let him develop, let him do his thing. He still has to He still has to grow with these receivers. He still has to grow with some of these linemen, even though they're not going to be here next year, hopefully. But he still has to get in rhythm with Luke Getsy and a couple other people. So there's no reason to sit Justin Fields whatsoever, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. We do have some background noise. I'm not sure who it is. But Steven, go ahead. Should we sit Justin Fields?
For me, absolutely not. Like I said, what I would do is, and I'll meet Melvin halfway, where if I feel like there's any sort of like, even if he looks, he's like, you just too tired, I may sit him for the rest of the game. But no, like you said, he needs the reps. We need, like you said, the chemistry. He's still a young player. Like, so I wouldn't sit him at all. No.
Okay. All right, let's go on to John. I think you're next. Yep, John, go ahead.
Who the hell do we got to play? I mean, you know what I mean? Ain't everybody like dying and stuff? Anyhow.
Nathan Peterman.
Yeah.
Real quick, the other reason that Justin needs to play is because he's going to win me $500.
Oh, there's fantasy implications. I got you. Okay, it makes sense now. Go ahead, John.
It don't matter if you play him. It don't. I mean, I think experience, he got as much experience as he's going to get within who we got on the field and what we're doing at this point of the year. I don't even think we're playing to win. So there is a little bit of experience to get, but also it's like tainted experience because, I mean, they're not really trying to win. I don't think even the play calls are to win at times. I think that he should play because they are two division games and let him get hungry and let him, get that, I hate these guys attitude. And also like some of the guys said also, so he could kind of get Getsy's playbook together a little bit more. Hopefully we can open up it a little bit and do some different stuff to have him learn more of the playbook within these two last games. But it's going to be a shit show the rest of the year. So it's, it don't really matter, but I say play him.
Okay, real quick before I move on to Jason. Greg Rice, we see you in the comments. You did get an invite to the show. Get with Adam if you want to jump on. And Melvin, even though you're low-key trying to sit in here and not make comments, I know you're watching. So stop ducking the invite.
He just hit my inbox. I just sent him the link. So.
Okay, perfect. So he'll be on here in a minute. So we'll go on to Jason. We've been trying to find a Lions fan. They're hard to find. Jason.
Well, I understand why Melvin doesn't want Justin to play because he's probably going to whoop their ass, and he wants to try to make the playoffs. But all seriousness, I do 50-50. I think you play him against the Lions, and then the last game, I think it's like the last preseason game. He's got the reps. What's one game really going to do? Personally, I would send him the last game, and honestly, to secure that pick, the worst thing you could do right now is win. So I know it sounds fucked up, but the worst thing you can do right now is win. So for draft purposes, for get his shoulder right, just to get him ahead of the game of the offseason workout, I don't think it really does. I don't think it moves the needle the last game. I really don't. That's just me.
You guys are going to be mad as fuck when he lights up the Lions on Sunday.
I know.
Well, I'll get to that.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say that because it's not looking good when I talk this year.
Before we do that, I just want to point out that Greg would be on the show, but he can't. He's at work, and he wanted to point out that, as you can see, he's displaying his honesty, integrity, and accountability on the clock, which basically is code for I ain't doing shit but watching the Beardown breakdown while I'm at work. So, wait a minute. Our guy Greg Rice, Fields will absolutely light up the Lions.
Ooh.
Adam, I'm going to need you to screen grab that, please. If you could make sure you get
and
that.
For the record, the bet that me and Melvin had, I would have lost all them 3 bets that I was bitching about keeping. So,
well, it's funny you just brought up a bet with Melvin because actually I have a bet with Melvin that if we lose this game, I have to sing the Lions fight song in a video, so he has that forever and ever.
I didn't even know they had a fight song until he made that bet.
You know that I had to go and actually research the shit to even make sure that they had one.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's like some guy that's like in a hard hat because I've been to the Lions game, and he starts singing, and he's like, rah, 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 and it's like kitty cat, rah, 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 and that's basically it.
I'm trying to figure out how to
Sounds
translate it.
awful.
I'm trying to figure out how to translate it to German. So if I lose this bet, he's not actually getting the bet. He didn't say I had to sing it in English, so fuck him. There's always a backup plan. Always. So here's my take. Here's my take on the Justin thing. He should absolutely be playing. Jason, that is not that funny.
I just imagine you just did like the German, like you know how Germans are like rah, rah, like the
strong voice,
He's imagining you singing German in a hard hat, bro.
Either that. If I can't
I'll put myself on mute.
If I can't figure out the German, I'm going to do it in Pig Latin. One of the two. There
you go.
We'll
That's the spirit.
We'll figure it out. So my take on the Justin thing, he should absolutely be playing. Listen, he's not any more banged up than any other quarterback in the NFL right now. Reports are that the shoulder isn't causing him any issues in game. I'm sure it's sore during the week. I'm sure every quarterback's sore during the week. The foot doesn't seem like it's a big deal. He should absolutely be playing. He needs to finish every game he can at this point. He's the starter. So, it's like we were talking pre-show. Green Bay isn't going to set down Aaron Rodgers if they get knocked out of playoff contention. They're just not. He's going to play the rest of the season. Justin Fields should absolutely do the same. If you're, like Adam said, if you're worried about injuries and you're playing, with injuries on your mind and we need to sit a guy because he may get hurt, then you're probably in the wrong damn sport because this is a brutal sport.
I got a question.
Good? Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good now. Scenario.
Yeah.
Somehow the Texans win against the Jags. We lose. Are you going to be surprised that all of a sudden Justin has some shoulder issues? Like if they sit Justin next week, are you saying they're tanking? Like, is that like a sign that they're tanking?
Oh, the tank's on already. But if they sit him, he's not going back in.
Honestly, no matter if Justin plays or not, our defense does plenty of fucking tanking to go around.
Yep.
Yeah, they got holes. I mean, that defense is pitiful.
Listen, I'm going to say this, and I said it earlier. This whole thought that we're purposely losing games, I don't believe that for 1 second. I think we're just that fucking bad.
No, we're that bad. But come on, man. I don't know, man.
But in reality, that's what the new age tanking is now anyways. Like, no player who, because I know for damn sure if I was out there, I don't give a damn what I was paying. I'm not playing for y'all to potentially go get a better draft position to go.
Right.
They're gonna draft me out of there. I need to make me some money. But so what a lot of times they do is, shit, we got players, we bring the JV team and they try hard. Somebody go get picked up from another team next year to be a backup, and then we lose all our games. So that's
we're really running with Sanborn for the rest of our lives.
10 weeks ago, we're out there playing our fucking hardest
football,
trying to win football games. We can't. We've been trying for 10 weeks. Can't win a fucking game. That's just the way it goes. Yeah. I don't think anybody's going to move that needle between week 17 and week 18.
We're really going with Sanborn, Mike.
Probably. Hold on.
Well, I know next year, but God,
I need a drum roll real quick. Ready? Let's just fake a drum roll. We have a Lions fan on the show. Look at him, all serious too. All serious, looking like Troy Polamalu over there. I see you. What up? This is your topic, Melvin. I put this shit in the show just for you. Should Justin Fields be playing? And I'm even gonna put you on the big screen, you ugly ass.
So look, man. I know y'all hate when I say this, but I'm a Lions fan, right? So I remember what happened with Stafford's shoulder. So I'm a little gun shy about that. I figure if his shoulder's still, giving him some issues or whatever, why risk fucking him up, man, for nothing? You have nothing to play for. Why not just sit him?
We could fucking beat you guys, man. Fuck.
It's funny. It's funny you said that because I don't know what you've been listening to, Melvin, but I just talked about our bet, and I'll say what I told you earlier. I'm having a moral dilemma here because A, I don't really want to sing this fight song, even though I'm gonna sing it in German because fuck you. And B,
nah, fuck that.
You
Gotta read the fine print, my boy.
You didn't put a language specification on this, Melvin. You just said I had to sing it. But I kind of want to lose this shit too because I'm trying to get the number one pick. Like I'm torn. This must be what it's like to be a Lions fan every year.
Man, it's like I said to you earlier, bro. You just focus on that motherfucking pick.
Right.
Melvin done sang the Bear song a few times already, though, too.
He did. He sang the Bear song for me a couple years ago.
Nothing's right, I'm torn.
One time. All right, let's
never
I
do that again.
I do have a question for Melvin, though.
Sure, yeah. Ask Melvin the questions. That's why he's here.
I do got a question for Melvin. Do you think? So, how do you feel knowing that Jared Goff has played well enough for you guys not to want to draft a quarterback?
Oh,
man, look, I've said for a while that Jared Goff is a good quarterback. He's nothing special, you know what I mean? But you can win with him. You put the right shit around him. I'd honestly, this year, I'm not real big on the quarterbacks anyway. I'd rather spend our assets in the draft towards defense because, that's what's been getting us ripped up this season. So, man, I'm heavy defense this draft anyway, so it doesn't bother me.
Okay, hold on real quick. Because we haven't been on the show in a couple weeks, we're about to turn this shit up a notch. Marlon, are you on the show?
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
What's up?
Marlon and Melvin.
So he'll duck everything but the show.
Listen, check it out, Phil. I'm on
Miami Vice Marlon.
appearance right now. I'm making a cameo appearance right now. I just got back from taking my daughter to this fair down here in Miami. It's beautiful as fuck down here in Miami, by the way. It's 71 degrees down here. I didn't even have to fucking wear this damn hoodie, but I chose to anyway. But anyway, just wanted to stop by and see what my assholes or buddy Bear fans are doing on the show. How's everything going? And just give my 2 cents on the current season, where we're at and where we're headed towards. So hopefully getting that number one spot. So
and your take on Melvin too.
I don't know what question y'all on right now, but I'm just
gonna should Fields play the last 2 weeks? Melvin says no, we all say yes.
Not we all. I said no.
Well, we don't count you, Jason, because you were singing Natalie Imbruglia.
And I think because you're going to sing in German.
I'm going to say this, Marlon, because I know the competitive fervor that Justin has. He wants to continue to play this season out. He wants to play a full season. I want to grant him that, especially given how close he is to breaking Lamar Jackson's record, which, quite frankly, isn't that old. So he will then take the crown for having the most rushing yards of any quarterback in NFL history. And I'm all for him getting that shit. If he wants it, go out there and go and get that shit. And what better fucking way to come that damn close to doing it and to do it against this goddamn depleted ass Lions defense. I'm okay with him doing that. He'll get 100 yards in this game, at least 100. But if he feels like, okay, he's a little bit nicked up and banged up, and the coaches say, you know what, we're gonna just to keep you secure for next year, we'll sit you out. If he's okay to agree with that, then I'll be okay with that too. It's really up to him, more importantly, because we know he wants to compete. He wants to play. He's a competitive athlete and competitive fucking quarterback, and I fucking love that about him. Even hearing about him buying the offensive line some damn gifts for Christmas, I wouldn't have gone that goddamn far. But probably would have gave their ass a goddamn lump of coal because all them bastards deserve that shit. But needless to say. Listen, we're playing against Detroit this week. Listen, let them have the damn win. They'll need it more than we are. They're going to actually screw themselves out of winning this game and then not have a good spot in the draft. So, by all means, let them have this damn
Still
season.
Gonna have a good spot in the draft.
Not as good as you think it will.
We still got the Rams pick, bro.
Shh, let it happen. Let it happen.
It won't be as great as I pick. It won't be as great as I pick, though. I tell you that.
Let's go, Baker.
It won't be as great as I pick. I can for damn sure tell you that much. It won't be nowhere near close. We're
probably
one
not.
game away from just closing out on having that number one spot that we haven't had in fucking decades. So
Okay, I got a question for y'all Bear fans.
Okay.
All right, so you keep talking. Yeah, I've heard a lot of y'all Bears fans talking about the number one pick and whatnot, right? But so honestly, like, we can hype up these quarterbacks as much as you want, but I don't know if the NFL is going to look at these quarterbacks the same way. So I don't know if there's going to be teams willing to trade up, like, because I'd assume that's what you'd want to do with that number one pick, right? Is trade back and acquire more picks. So, like, do you really see a team wanting to trade up all the way to number one for this crop's quarterbacks when they'll probably slide?
Absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you this much. If you're listening to people like Todd McShay and Mel Kiper, stupid asses who get paid to be wrong about college players, by all means, go ahead and listen to them because they know what I do think about college football. I watch college football. I'm paying attention to these goddamn college players at this draft. I know it's a couple of quarterbacks that's going to be pretty damn good, depending on what it is. And depending on what quarterback, what coach they have, mentoring and helping guys that trying to team. But Bryce Young obviously has the talent. The kid Levis from Kentucky has a fucking strong ass arm. I didn't realize he had a goddamn cannon like that because I watched a few Kentucky games. He did moderately well, but his arm strength is fucking. I can tell you that much. He has elite arm strength, but guys like them, obviously CJ Stroud is very talented, really Justin Fields-ish like, and we're seeing more of those players transitioning to the NFL like that. So quite frankly, listen, teams that fucking desperately need quarterbacks are going to take a goddamn quarterback. You can bet your money on that.
Now, real quick before you go on, just want to throw that out there real quick. Like, I'm not listening to Mel Kiper and everything you throw out there, bro. I'm going off of my opinion. So,
yeah. So I'll kind of touch on what I honestly think. I think that we've had weak quarterback draft classes, and I kind of agree with Melvin that I don't see the guy. Like, I don't see a Trevor Lawrence. I just don't see it. With that said, some team is going to fall in love with somebody somewhere, and they're going to make the jump. I honestly, truly believe that a quarterback or two gets drafted way higher than they should be every single year.
I mean, you have, like you said, it happens all the time. It's that's again. I mean, Johnny Manziel got drafted way too high. You get what I'm saying? Like again, like I said earlier, once they get in short. Once they start running around and throwing the ball on air, somebody's gonna fall in love with them. And then what's actually a lot better with this draft is, like you said, there's probably only 2 or 3 guys versus having 5 or 6 potential starter quality guys. Because usually in a pretty decent draft is usually every year that's 1 or 2 guarantee guys, right? According to all the gurus. Then there's a couple guys that are like, these guys can work their ways up to be starters if they just sit in here. I think this year's going to be 3 of them. So because of that, teams who think they got a good, solid foundation that thinks that, we can mold a quarterback or have a game manager or really like the coach or something like that, they'll be more willing to spend money or spend the capital to get the quarterback that they want versus waiting another year, letting their defense get another year older. You get what I'm saying? So I think that bodes into our favor as well.
Yeah.
I mean, how many teams? I guess we've gone over this. How many teams are legit probably going to draft a quarterback in this year's draft?
That's the question. It's so many unknowns because it's like we don't know.
Well, I mean, like
maybe a little more than that.
Well, see, I think
looking for a quarterback too.
But see, all right. For example, the Jets, are they going to shoot and try to get a quarterback, or are they going to go hard? See, I think they're going to go after Carr. I think that's going to be their guy because Carr goes in there. That makes that Jet team. I'm not saying Carr is next level, but he's good enough where it makes that Jet team, who has a decent team, takes that team to the next level.
He's got the experience.
Right, he's got the experience. So I don't know if they're necessarily going to go with another rookie quarterback. I think that's what I'm thinking. But Carolina, I think Carolina
in Las Vegas.
I think Carolina.
Carolina would be a good one. But
I think Carolina's going to be one. I think the Colts.
Yep.
If they can't get anyone in free agent, I mean, there's teams that Houston, like somebody said, Steven said, we don't know. Like everyone just assumes they're going to get a quarterback, but we don't know if they're going to interested. So I think you just need that one team that's going to be falling in love with the guy. That's why I think if we're second or even first, I firmly believe we're going to make that trade before draft day. Like I think we're going to wheel and deal that trade deal. Boom, done. So,
right, but that's why. But like I said, that's why it goes back to it. Not trying to take too much time to go back, but that's why going back to what I said earlier about having the second pick is probably so powerful because if there's like, say for example, Carolina has indications that they know for certain Houston is drafting Bryce Young and they want the kid out of Kentucky, they give up the farm for that second pick. You get what I'm saying? They may give up 2 firsts or, you know what I'm saying, 3 firsts or something like that because they have to have them because after that, there's nothing else there, right? So, like you said, it's it's that mysterious of what Houston is doing is unknown because, like, Danny Dimes, he I don't know, like, he has really good games, he has really bad games. There's stats out there that says first 3 quarters, he's the top 10 quarterback, and then he falls apart in the 4th quarter. So could a team sit here and say he's young? Like, we just don't know. There's so many, like you said, the Jets. Do they roll with Mike White? Like, there's just so many uncertainties with the quarterback position, which is why having one of these top draft picks to as trade value is so important.
Well, Houston's got 2 picks. They've got Cleveland's pick too, though.
Yeah. So I want to move along before Melvin has to get off here or whatever he's doing. It's prediction time. It's prediction time. So we are Bears versus Lions. Winner and score. Gil.
I ain't got to go nowhere, man. You good? I was just
this one, but I think it's going to be 35-28, and I think the Lions are going to take it.
Okay, 35-28 Lions. Adam.
Is this a winnable game for the Bears? Absolutely. Do I want us to win? Absolutely fucking not. But I do want Justin Fields to have a hell of a day. I think we come up just short. I think we lose 28-24.
All right, I'm going to save Melvin for last. Jason.
I think the game is going to be kind of like the last couple of games, right? We'll keep it close for a half. And then somewhere between the mid to 3rd quarter-ish, the Lions pull away. I'm thinking 38-30 Lions.
Okay, Steven.
All right, I say Justin Fields lights up the Lions. He gets revenge for throwing the last game against them, the pick that sealed the game against them last time. You know, it's 34-35 going into it. We go for 2 and purposely not get it. That's what I think. That's how I think this game is.
Take it on.
Before I give my prediction and we move over to Melvin, I actually have a question for Melvin. Melvin, are you going to talk a lot of shit if you beat us?
Of course.
I'm going to talk as much shit as necessary.
Okay, so with that being said,
42-10 Bears then.
With that being said, I am going to go 27-28 Chicago. Go ahead, Melvin.
All right, look, man, last weekend we got smacked in the fucking mouth, and I think that hurt their pride a little bit, and I think you're going to feel the brunt of that. So I'm going to call it 30-17.
You got us fucked up. I'm
sorry.
30-17, man.
Damn. What was the score of the last game?
It was
30-31.
Pissed off.
Okay.
We got smacked in the mouth last week, so we got something to prove, man.
You've been getting smacked in the mouth for 5 fucking years. Like, what is the difference?
Not this team.
Not this team. Okay. All right. Not this team. Okay.
Now with DC out there, no, man. We play hard here, man.
They're biting kneecaps. Okay. So, Melvin, I want you to answer this too, even though it's kind of a Bears related question, but I want you to actually answer it for the Lions. Okay. So, what is the most important position group that we need to address, whether it be in free agency or the draft this year? The one most important. Gil.
I think that we've got to, on the defensive side, we need defensive linemen. We need to address that. We need to address to put pressure on the quarterback.
Okay, so even over offensive line, you're saying
even offensive line. That's the first pick, first round.
Okay, Adam.
As much as I wanted to say defensive line, it's 100% offensive line. And if you want to build around Justin Fields and you want to see him succeed, no matter what the fuck the defense is doing, you got to have offensive linemen for Justin Fields to succeed. So, yeah, offensive line, 100%.
All right, Jason.
Well, I get many layers. You could argue both lines need help, and I guess the way you could do it for free agency, depending on who's out there, is the defensive line at this point. But if I had to pick in the perfect world, it would be the offensive line before a wide receiver, because if you get a wide receiver, it's fucking pointless if you can't keep Justin upright. That's all. My little tirade.
Go to Steven.
It has to. Well, for me, it has to be the defensive line, and I say that because even with this shitty offensive line, the team has shown the ability to score and get explosive plays. Right? It's like with this, like I don't even have we had a multi-sack game?
No.
I feel like everybody has ran for 5+ average yards. Like, it's literally been absolutely atrocious what this defensive line has been doing, and it should be criminal. We should they should all be in jail.
They should all be in jail.
For real.
All right. So, Melvin, go ahead and give me yours, but give me the Lions' perspective. What is the one position group you have to address this offseason?
So, I mean, I think for most people, the obvious answer would be, corner. But at the same time, we got a couple young corners in there. Like Okuda, he's been in the league 3 years, but really, play-wise, he's still young. And Jerry Jacobs has shown a little promise. But I'm still going to go with corner. But a close second, if not just as important, man, we need a stud interior guy, man. Like, we need that guy that's going to disrupt that middle, you know what I mean? And take a little focus off of our outside guys. It's not great in the middle. McNeil, he's solid, but he's real streaky, on and off. Like, he's not consistent. So we need a power pig in that middle too.
Okay. Well, you can't have Jalen Carter. I've said no. I vetoed that. Marlon, what is the biggest position group of need? Just one.
I told you before, just fucking put a bunch of positions in a goddamn hat and just pick one, and that would be goddamn priority. That would be the need. But I'll give you pressure on the goddamn to save our lives. We haven't got him quarterback to read books they order on Amazon while getting their goddamn movies delivered to them before throwing a goddamn. What we need to fucking address first. We need a pass rush. Obviously, given what's going to happen with this all the free agency, that's going to really set precedent for what we do in the draft. So if we Buckner or Payne, one of those big name guys in free agency, that's going to dictate what moves we make in the draft. At least with the first two, I at least think so. If I'm thinking like those, then I'm thinking that he's going to go out somewhere on that line and complement the.
Okay, Marlon's gone. I knew that connection was shitty. I was trying to hope it would clear up, but
I like how y'all motherfuckers acted like the whole time like you understood a word that motherfucker was saying.
He said
I heard a few. I got the gist.
I heard something.
Yeah.
Defense.
Really bad.
Yeah, he said put it all in a hat and shake it up, and defensive line and all that good stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and say I got to say it's defensive line. I really don't think that. Listen, we're running the ball better than any team in the NFL. Okay, so we can look at the line in two different ways. We can say they can't pass protect, but they can run block save all fucking day, right? So Do we need help on the offensive line? Yes. Do I think that out of the 5 guys there are a couple guys that are going to stick around and still continue to be starters? Yes. Do I think that there is a guy on the defensive line right now that should stay and be a starter? Absolutely not. So to me, it's defensive line all day. I think that, listen, a good defense is going to help out an offense. And unfortunately, our defense is shit right now. So that's where I'm going with it. I'm going to try to throw Marlon out real quick because he's back in. Hopefully his signal cleared up. Marlon, did your signal clear up? Because we can barely hear you.
Okay, yeah. So I said that, yeah, pass rush and defensive line, depending on what we go after first in free agency, that's what we're going to use to complement what we go out there in the draft. So Jalen Carter, Will Anderson, those 2 are my top 2 guys that I'm looking at. And given the position that we may end up being in, whether it be 1 or 2, we're going to have a world of fucking advantage over other teams to pretty much kind of dangle over their head to see if they're going to play ball and trade up.
Let's say we trade back. Let's say we trade back to like a 7 or 8. Do we take Skoronski from Northwestern as an offensive lineman? Would you rather do that than still go defense at like 7 or 8?
We again, that's predicated on what we do in free agency. So if we get some key guys in free agency, I'm okay with getting an offensive lineman with us trading back. But I wouldn't be okay with that idea if we're not like being real aggressive in free agency when it comes to these high top tier guys that we're looking to try to help revamp this goddamn defensive line. So, but I personally, I want both the free agent and the goddamn draft pick. I want Jalen Carter to be on the same fucking line, or Will Anderson on the same fucking line as fucking Payne or DeForest Buckner. That's what the fuck I really want. Like, that's my ideal line right there. Ain't nobody getting to that fucking line. I don't give a fuck who it is. But man, that would be ideal.
Yeah. So Robert Argo, 30-21 Lions, and he's taking D lineman first, going after an all offensive lineman and wide receiver. I do want to just touch on this for Bears fandom out there. I know that the thought process is we need to go out and get a number 1 wide receiver. I would really strongly suggest you go out and look at the available free agents, and then you look at what's in the draft, because I'm not sure there is one. I think there's some good wide receivers. Do I think that there's a clear-cut number 1 wide receiver, can't-miss prospect coming out of this draft? No. The free agency list is filled with mid-tier guys, and we need to stop putting our name to every possible could be a thing, like Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams, baby.
Listen, he's not going to be a Chicago Bear. The Raiders are not eating that dead cap hit and getting rid of.
Before that, it was D-Hop.
Yeah, it's just not happening. The D-Hop thing I could see because the dead cap isn't going to be so big. They just signed him to that one I could see.
I mean, Adams, only if we had a second-round pick to trade them. Oh yeah, we already wasted that second round.
I don't know if Lions fans do this in Lions groups, but Bears fans attach themselves to every single potential free agent there could ever be, and they all want them to come to Chicago.
I think that's like that. I think that's like that with most, if not all fan bases.
Yeah.
We're desperate.
Delusional fans.
We want
as annoyed as we are.
We've been given too many mediocre motherfuckers too many goddamn chances to be elite players, and we need to stop fucking doing that. We think we found diamonds in the rough. And
so we should release Chase Claypool, right?
Chase Claypool needs to go then. Mediocre.
Yeah, okay. Marlon, this
we
is
get a refund on that pick.
You got one more goddamn time to talk. Listen, Chase, he's an unfinished product. He's an unfinished product. I ain't gonna say he's goddamn thing. But I mean, listen. The jury's still out on Claypool. Jury's still out.
Okay, I'll check back in with you next year when we're talking about should we re-sign him or not. Hey, Melvin, I did want to point out to you.
Hold on. Like I said though, y'all know how I feel about the damn these receivers that's coming out of this draft. Say what you want. There's some top tier receivers coming out of this draft, and depending on where they go and what system they're playing in, they're gonna be pretty damn productive too.
There's no Justin Jefferson in this draft.
3 to 4 of them will. A good 3 of them will.
No.
I mean, I'm not opposed to getting a wide receiver if like we're like the 5th, like team. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not doing one in the top 10, but
if we do trade back,
like if we trade,
16, or 17.
if we trade somehow to like the 15th or 16th, and the guy's there again, it's hard. We're December. It's hard to see what guys where. We don't even know draft day where guys are falling too. So it's we can all say we don't want this guy or this guy, but you never know. Jalen Carter could fall to 15th. You never know. I mean, stranger things have happened.
Tackles fall into that 15 too.
Real quick, man. I want to go back to what Adam said about like there's no Justin Jefferson this draft. Like, I mean, this like Justin Jefferson wasn't supposed to be Justin Jefferson this draft. Or wasn't supposed to be Justin Jefferson. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he came out being like a Chase Young. Yeah. Like we got Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 4th round. You know what I mean? So like you may not think like there'd be some stars, but wide receiver is just a popping ass position.
Oh my God. Guys, you feel that? Hell, it's just frozen over. Those Marlon and Melvin just agreed on something.
Solar eclipse.
Don't be an ass all the time, Maladino. Okay.
I'm kind of disappointed because I thought there was gonna be more fireworks between these two. B,
it usually would be, but see, listen, I'm not in any state to actually start a bunch of shit because I'm around my in-laws, so I can't really talk how I really want to talk. But yeah. But when I get back home, I'll give y'all enough shit later. I'll give y'all enough shit later. So listen, guys. Continue on doing the damn show. Bear the fuck down. Let the goddamn Lions have it. We are the new Lions. Just this 1 year. This 1 year, we're the Lions for the goddamn division. So, but don't get too goddamn happy.
I don't like your tone, Marlon. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, get out of here.
Bear down.
Go enjoy your shitty ass Wi-Fi in Miami, son of a bitch.
All right. Hey, I just wanted to touch real quick, Melvin. You know how you and I have that thing back and forth about which fan base is more ignorant sometimes.
Yep,
okay,
yep.
So I don't know if you saw it today, but I actually posted a post from somebody that I found on Facebook that cannot wait for the orange and black of the Chicago Bears to come out swinging this week.
Gotta love them Halloween Bears, man.
Here's the bad part: he spelled orange wrong.
Orgain.
The Orgain in black. So we appreciate you being on the show, sir. Do you have anything else you want to say about your shit?
Maybe blue, not black, but
no, man. Just I'm ready for this game. Get it done with. See who's gonna come out on top and who's gonna talk the most shit.
I'll be talking shit to you the entire game, regardless of score, because fuck you. So. That's where I'm at with it. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Bear down. We will be back next week. Like I said, we missed a couple weeks, but that was my fault. We will be back next week. Y'all have a good week. We will see you next week after we beat the Lions. Bear down.
No, we don't want to beat the Lions.
Yep. Bear down. Fuck Detroit.
Yeah, fuck Detroit and their pizza and their hot dogs.